Nice background, Shannon. Is it just
Nice.
me or you had?
I was just having some fun before the meeting started and I was like, I like it.
I've seen that one thing. I think the guy is like a judge or a lawyer or something, and he's older. And somehow the filter went on and he's a cat, and you just see his eyes and mouth going. And they're starting the hearing, and whoever the other person is like, yeah, like you're gonna have to fix. He's like, listen, my assistant, this is the cat, my assistant has been trying to do this for a while. I don't know how to do it. I'm prepared to proceed.
You're like, end your sentence to jail
Yeah.
by the
Bye.
cat.
Bye. Right. I know. I was already thinking, look at this thing behind my head.
I know. When you came on, it looked like a side, like a flapper girl.
That hairdo. Look at that.
There you go. Very nice.
Very nice. Hi, everyone. Kristen, you remembered today.
Oh, yes, I did. But I kept looking at the clock and like making sure, because I don't know what is happening. Yeah,
These
I'm
things
here.
happen. And Kathy, you're here too. Yes.
I was the same, Kristen. I was like checking the watch. I'm like, okay, I can't miss it.
Yeah.
Well, thank God to Pam and for your reminders, because
Yeah.
even though it's in
Yes.
my calendar, it's been a bit busy. So at least I remembered yesterday or whatever when I saw that go out versus this morning at 6 o'clock. Like, oh my God, I got this going on when I usually check my calendar. So thanks,
Thank
Pam.
you,
That's
Pam.
helpful. Thanks, Pam.
Yeah, for real. Thank you.
Yeah, Pam has to wrangle us all in. Hi, Jack. Good morning. You're still on mute there, little lady.
I don't have my glasses on. Good morning.
Hi.
I
Hi,
have no
lady.
makeup on. My hair is ridiculous. So this is what you're getting.
Yeah, you
Join
look
the club.
lovely. You look lovely. I have out of the shower hair, but that's okay.
We've had a lot of sickness in our house over the weekend. So
No, that sucks. Are you sick?
yeah, all good. Yeah, I was really sick, but I'm good now.
Oh, boo. That's yucky. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're feeling better. This is good news. And I think, Tanya, are you there?
I did see her pop on for a minute.
Yeah, I can see her. She just has her camera and her microphone off. That's okay. And then Joyce is going to be just a couple of minutes late. She's running in on her lunch break. And I don't know that we don't have Susan. She's in Peru. I don't know about Lisa.
I didn't hear anything on the support website about people not showing up. So other than Joyce just saying she's going to be late.
I think we're just communicating through Facebook
Good. Okay.
group, not through the support, but that's okay. See, there's Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Tanya. Oh, you got something going on with your hair too. That's nice. This
I
is
got showered this morning.
I love that when it's been in a bun and you take it down and it's like,
Yeah, it's like
perfect. Looking lovely. Hi, Joyce. We made it. Okay. All right. So maybe we can jump in. Pam, do you want to just give us a quick, you took some notes last time. Do you want to just give us a quick update as to where we're at right now? And then I'll chat about moving forward. If you're up for that.
Sure. Okay,
Or I give you notes to prepare that.
so we set up for, we picked the date, which is October 1st, which is a Sunday. And hopefully the location will be the Blackfoot Provincial Recreation Area, like the trails.
I'm gonna make a note here. Yeah, Lisa went out there, yeah. Pam, I think Lisa went out to look at
Oh,
it.
good. Hopefully, because yeah, she had volunteered to
She
check it
sent
out.
some pictures. I don't remember if she sent the pictures in Facebook. Did any of you guys see that? Or maybe she just texted them to Jackie and I.
I didn't see them.
Okay. She might have just texted to us.
I think she just sent them to you and I, Mandy.
Okay. Okay, so we have our date as October 1st. Correct?
And then we're gonna open the registrations on the June 15th.
Thank you. I'm
And
just having to
Naomi-
rewrite all of this down because of course I don't remember which book I wrote all of the notes down. But now I'm like, the commitment is I'm writing everything in one book until that book is full and then I go to the next. Okay. So June 15th registration though, but Jack, I'm glad that you're here to help to take some notes as well, because you and I have some work to do on that. So we discussed in Edmonton. Yes, Luisha?
Sorry, I was just gonna ask the title of the run, Little Warriors Fun Run.
It is called the War Horse Run for Bravery.
Okay,
And then our subtexter, they call it like the log line, will be benefiting little warriors in the Be Brave Ranch. But it's called the War Horse Run for Bravery.
great, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think, and we'll have to wait to get confirmation from Lisa, but in terms of Edmonton for a gathering point for if people want to gather in Edmonton, is that we are going to do this out at Elk Island. But what we had discussed, and I'm not sure if there's a few of you who were not there at the last meeting, what we did discuss in fairly deep depth. Is that a thing? Deep depth? In deep depth, not shallow depth. We discussed really the ability to make this as accessible to as many people as possible, which means that you can run it anywhere, run it, walk it, do all of those things anywhere in the world at any time throughout the course of that day. We just kind of said within that 24-hour period. Because even if you're somewhere else in the world, like Tanya's going to tell her friends and family in the Ukraine and everything, that it's kind of from 12:01, like October 1st until like 11:59 at the end of the day. And the reason why we had decided on that date, and Leanne, do you want to share that piece? Because you're the one who had the great idea.
Just because it is the day after Truth and Reconciliation Day, and so we'll all be focused on these things that are very important to all of us, and a lot of the values and a lot of the bravery that it takes for all of us to approach truth and reconciliation.
Yeah, beautiful. So that said, though, I just remembered I have one. I don't know if this is like a wrench or just something to kind of throw out there, and I'm good either way. Because I think Pam, you had shown us a run. You posted a different run that another group is doing at another time, but they're kind of doing it over 2 days. It's like over a weekend. So it was one thing that I was going to ask all of you is how you personally feel about that. If you think that it would be a better idea just to do it, is it October 1st or is it September 30th and October 1st over the whole weekend, and people can do it over the weekend? And I think, to be honest, I think that there's pluses and minuses to both. But I'd be open if anybody has any kind of stronger feeling. Yeah, Joyce.
Yeah, so I know like in Devon, what we do for that day on the 30th, our town, like everybody gathers and we go for a big walk for Truth and Reconciliation. Like and they always have drummers and everything. And then we all end up at our community center and there's guest speakers and stuff. So like there's a lot of places are already doing walks for Truth and Reconciliation just as a group. They don't fundraise or anything for it. So I know there's a lot of people already doing that day.
Okay.
And I know like my principal, he lives in the city, and last year and the year before, he just went to one in his community. So I don't know if that, just because of the date, if that would, I mean, definitely all ties in together. It's just, I don't know how people would feel kind of combining those. I don't know. All that I'm saying is I know a lot of communities do events on that day now.
Okay. Yeah, I think that that's super valid. Anybody else have anything, any feelings to share around that?
The only thing I was thinking is it gives an opportunity to raise a little bit more money for them. And with Truth and Reconciliation Day, maybe there might be some people that are doing the walk anyways and want to do a little bit of fundraising for it because of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of the things I thought.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Leanne? Hi, Renee.
If having it over both of the days may draw a stronger connection to the Indigenous part of the conversation with this run. And while it's obvious to us because we're thinking about it, it might not be as obvious to other people outside of our group that there is a very strong link between the two. So that would be a good way for us to kind of draw that value into the run as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder, can we possibly use a picture of Cody to say this is how it's inspired us? That could be a link to both the
Absolutely.
reconciliation. I guess I know Cody's uncle quite well, Barry Hodgson.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I know him. Like, he's a really good friend. Him and Bonnie, which is his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Like, because of the wagons, and I grew up in the wagons, and
Right.
yeah, I didn't realize there was a connection because they have a son named Cody too. Hey,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, but that's his uncle.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe I might reach out to him once we make it public to see if he wants to, because he could, just being in the wagons, they're really good at raising money.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I think that it would be important for us to maybe gather some statistics. Like, it's so interesting. Like, we just have to kind of be, as always, mindful and sensitive, but in today's day and age, you have to be extra mindful and extra sensitive around how you say things. And I think it would be helpful to know and to understand, like, what are the stats like around sexual abuse with Indigenous communities? And then also for me to get the statistics from Glory, and what are her statistics in terms of like the children that they take into their intake program there. And I mean, obviously it's not only for Indigenous kids, right? And their adult center will not only be for Indigenous people, but, you know, given that Glory is Métis and that it's called Little Warriors, and they have like their whole logo is, you know, an Indigenous dancer and things like that, as well as I think it's important for us to definitely call that out. But then in the marketing too, is to also let people know that this isn't specifically a treatment center for those who are Indigenous, but I think how can we also just kind of share that it's an extra sensitive topic? Yeah, Shannon and then Jackie.
If Glory is the founder of
Yeah.
I wonder what if they're doing something on Truth and Reconciliation Day already. Maybe we could ask her.
Yeah, I will ask.
If they do anything. And then maybe we can partner up almost.
Okay, I will ask her. Good idea. Okay, I like that. Thank you, Jack.
I was just thinking maybe we could get a hold of Garth through Bent Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a really good connection there. I think maybe reaching out to him. He works with dads and moms of abused children and stuff. That's kind of his area there. So that might be a good avenue to tap into as well.
For sure, for sure. I like that. Can you put that on the list and maybe have that start having that conversation, or he can come over here and you and I can have that conversation with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to see there, I mean, obviously we're not raising money for Bent Arrow, but Bent
Correct.
Arrow I know would definitely benefit, right?
Yes.
In
Yeah.
those ways too. And I know that Garth would have some really good ideas about that.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Luisha.
Could we not use Cody as our poster child? Kind of, you know, every year we pick a new poster child, but he's our first one.
Yeah, well, yes, for sure, because we're using his war horse and
Logo.
his branding. And I mean, really, this was like really what he wanted to do,
Wow.
you know? And I mean, I don't know the word for it, but you know, the inspiration,
The seeds, yeah.
behind it is Cody. So yeah, absolutely. Jackie, you and I, if you can also put on the list, we need to have a conversation with Alita, and then I can contact Cody's sister, Camille, because I think she'd probably be the best one for us to chat with about this.
And just another thing with Southern Alberta, I do have a call in to a lady in Medicine Hat in regards to starting and ending at the teepee on October 1st for the run. So I haven't, because of the holidays, I haven't heard back, but and I keep seeming to miss the link on Facebook. So I'm going to try to reconnect because my Facebook went sideways last week. So
Yeah, just might need to make sure your notifications are turned on.
yeah, great. Thank you.
Jackie?
I haven't been involved in a lot of your meetings to date. Was anything mentioned about animals, specifically dogs? Reason being, Cody has his 2 dogs that Alita still has. And they were a huge part of his life. And I'm just wondering if that would be something that we could tell people they could bring their dogs on the walk with them.
I think that's amazing. We haven't talked about that. We've talked about horses.
Okay, yeah.
Believe it or not, because Kathy was thinking about doing potentially a trail ride or something like that. Like, I think the point is it's kind of like get there how you can, right? If you're walking, if you're running, if you're riding, if you're pushing somebody in a stroller or in a wheelchair, it's the whole journey, and it's the whole point of kind of getting there however you can get there. And something that feels like a bit of a stretch or a bit of a challenge for you to do that. And we can kind of use that to raise some money. And obviously people would be getting other people to sponsor them.
Yeah.
And then all this money is going to Little Warriors. So kind of, I've looked into it and made the decision. And now I just need to connect with, I've connected with Glory's assistant, but not the right person in kind of their donation and finance department. But we'll just funnel all of the donations like direct to Little Warriors. And then that way Little Warriors can issue them a tax receipt, and then they'll keep track. They can put a tag on where this donation is coming from, and they can keep track of kind of how much money we are raising as a group, as a collective. And then that way we can kind of share that back with everybody too.
And will that be ongoing, available as well for ongoing donations? What if it's my birthday and I want to have the Little Warrior?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think you can do it kind of any time, and we can just even keep, you know, the run page live for people to go to at any point in time if they want to use it as a direct link in. Yeah, Kathy.
The one thing we just did for Old McDonald Kennels here, a fundraiser, and they had a QR code, and so it linked to my health food store. They scanned the QR code and then they made their donation that way, or they could come in and donate. that might be something to think about, making a
Yeah,
QR code.
I like that. It's really easy. Rather
Yep.
than, yeah, putting the link in that people have to type in or anything like that.
Yeah, we do the QR code stuff at school all the time. And like we've been doing we just did one of the 50/50s at
Yeah.
school, and you just scan the QR code and you get to pick if it's 20, and you can post them on Facebook. You know, and I don't know if that's something that we want to do, say like, you know, if you can't walk or run, you want to make a donation, you can
Mhm.
set that up to do these 50/50s, and it's crazy how good they go.
Okay.
Like we just made $6,000 in a week at our school for doing that.
Oh, no way.
Oh, it's so easy. You just have to get the program. But I think you have to, because it was through our parent council. And I think you have to be a society, which we could do that through Be Brave Ranch, I'm sure. And so what you do is you do the program and you have to just pick, okay, I want this much money in $100 donations, this much in 50s, 20s. And so you just go on, and then it gives you send you an email with your tickets.
Mm.
And then half of it would go to Be Brave and half could go to the other person. And lots of times whoever wins it just donates it back anyway.
Mhm.
It's just a fun way to do it if someone didn't want to walk.
Yeah, you look like a jerk if you're the one who doesn't donate it back.
Yeah.
I'm always-
Well, no, but you know, whatever, even if they don't,
I know.
like it's again, and it's super easy. Like I say, our parent council just did it for our school and it went over. And it was funny because it was all the $100 ones that went first.
Yeah, of course, right? Okay, as I'm
Anyway.
setting up like all of the payment stuff, I'll look to see if that can be an option as well, that people can add that on.
Joyce,
Uh,
was it called Rafflebox? Was that the app? Yeah. It's called Rafflebox, Mandy. It's the
Rafflebox?
online system to do these online 50/50s.
Okay. Raffle box. Okay, so we need to jump back again. Are we going to do this over the 2 days or the 1 day is kind of the question. 2? Yeah, hold your hands up. What do you think? A vote? 2 days, Shannon says 1, 2. I think it's right.
I think you could do it over 2 days, but if you have the QR code, they can donate at any time, but have an end date, you know, for the 11:59. But for the walk and run, I think if people are doing the Truth and Reconciliation walk and they can scan something to donate, they might be interested in doing that. And kind of, I know for me, I could kind of combine on the Saturday at Truth and Reconciliation with the Be Brave, and they could scan and walk or run or whatever they want to do. I do have for my horse stuff,
Yeah.
I contacted the lady, so she said October 1st is available. Then would you have people just coming in for the day or out again? Or do you think you want people camping? Just wondering, horse pens, just the trails. She's got a lot of questions, so I could
That
probably
sounds
do
very
both.
complicated.
Oh, no, not when you're a horse person. That's kind of normal. It's just that some people might want to do a 2-day trail ride. Like they host a 2-day trail ride and it's crazy how many people come out to it. So I don't know. Or maybe scrap that and just do a walk. I don't know. It depends if they have to pay too.
Yeah. Tanya, what do you think? You had your hand up.
I just wanted to say that people like flexibility, but also if we give too much flexibility, then nothing is happening. So
I agree.
if we're gonna say, my internet is choppy, I'm sorry. So I think what we can do is we can promote and market 1 day primarily, and with some and we can give people options. And if you want to stay for 2 days, you know, trail or run, or if you cannot do this one, you can do Saturday. That can be an option. So we don't limit them, but our main focus and promotion goes to for 1 day. So then, you know, because also when we talk about, you know, like how we do collective meditations, you know, it's just like 1 day when everyone does it, I feel like there's more energy and you can be connected with lots of people, even like around the globe without being in the same place. For me, I would stick to 1 day and if someone's like, okay, what if this? Sure, you can do this because, you know, even MST time and like Europe time is going to be different. And does it really matter? Not much. And we can add and if we will be using Strava, because that was my homework piece, the QR code goes there. And also for the QR code. So for example, some people you're like, oh, I cannot do this Sunday, but if they don't to donate, we will have the QR code promoted through the platform or the website or the Strava. So you can do that right away. It's not like only if you can run on Saturday, only then you can donate. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah, that was my only piece, is that to really hold and maintain that energy, and we'll have to be super active on social media and just really getting, you know what I mean? Like as much of that kind of messaging out there as loud as possible. My only piece was if we gave a little bit too much time within that, is that things can kind of get watered down in and amongst everything else that's happening there. Yeah. And Tanya put momentum. So yeah. Kathy, what were you going to say?
I was just thinking, Tanya made me think about some stuff because it's our first year and we want to really keep momentum and increase people and get them. And we don't want to take away from the Truth and Reconciliation either.
Yeah.
Because that would be not good either, right? I know we understand, but like you were saying, others might not. They might be like, oh, you're riding on our coattails type of thing. So it would almost be, I think, 1 day and do a really good job 1 day. And then maybe in the future, look at doing 2 days, even though I did say 2 days because I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
I want to change my answer to 1 day.
Yeah. Let's go with the simple, the KISS method. The keep it simple, stupid this year. Let's do that. And then let's really use the momentum though of Saturday in our marketing and share the message. Like, this is why we are doing it here. Right. And we can chat about that on Saturday and then we'll, yes. Okay, perfect. So 1 day, that's it. And then we talked about a few different options because I think it would be great to give people the option to either walk or to run. I think to do a really long walk is a lot for people who don't typically walk. So we can choose maybe like a 5K, and then maybe that would be an easy starting point for some people, right? And then I did discuss being able to do a run. And what do you think we should do? Should we do for a run? Should we do we can do a 10K, we can do a half marathon, we can do, if people really want to run a full marathon, I don't know. I mean, I guess to your point, Tanya, if we give too many options, sometimes there's not a lot that happens, but I also don't want to disqualify people. So it might be great to say, we're doing a 5K walk and a 10K run, but if you want to run farther because that feels like your stretch goal, then go for it and you can raise more money.
I think too, if you do, say a 1K, or even just invite them to come out and cheer on people.
Yes, of course.
Would be good too. Because some people, might think 5 is even a lot for a walk, but yet they want to come out and do something.
Of course.
1K is not, everybody can do 1K. 1K walk, 5K walk or run, and a 10K. What do you guys think?
So then would we have to, like, the spots that we pick, say we're going to do it at Elk Island, do it in Lethbridge, like we're going to have markers then with those lanes, correct? No.
No,
Because everybody's going to use a app or whatever, and that doesn't,
good
but say if
feedback.
it's just like, so say I didn't have a smartwatch or whatever to do that. I guess you can put it on your phone, but then could like, and say I want to bring my grandkids and just walk with them.
Yes. So we will have, okay, I'll let Tanya answer that question first, and then I can answer that as well.
Okay, thank you.
So on Strava, you don't need to have the super smart watch. All you need to have is to have your phone with you, whatever doesn't matter. And then also there are a couple options that I can share what we can create on Strava. The cool thing is that you can actually see, like, you know, if you created the loop or whatever you created. My personal opinion is that we cannot put neither markers, no limitation to location, because, you know, as much as Elk Island is beautiful, if I'm in Calgary that day, let me walk, you know, down the river in Calgary and just send you like my pass or what's not. But my question was, because Mandy, you said like you can run and raise money. So does it for people? I've never participated in this, so I don't know, like the longer they run, the more money they contribute, or someone else. Could you please tell me how it works technically?
It's kind of like, okay, I guess you didn't do these when you were a kid in Canada, but whether there was like a walkathon or a skate-a-thon or something, then kids decide like, this is how long I'm going to do this for. This is how far I'm going to go. They get to decide for themselves. And then they go door to door and they say, how much money will you give me if I complete this, right? If I skate for 1 hour without stopping, right? Like, how much money will you give me? And they're like, oh, I'll give you $25, right? So it's kind of like that. So, I mean, I think I'll tell you what my thoughts are and I'll flip it back to you. But I think for this year, a 5K walk and a 10K run, if people wanted to do that, and if they decided that they wanted to do more, like I also like would really like to run a half marathon. And that would be, I need motivation to be able to do that. And if I tell a bunch of people and people give me money to donate because I say I'm going to do this half marathon, then they'll be like, but I thought this was a 5K or 10K. It's like, yeah, but I'm doing a half marathon. Then they can still give you $25, right, to donate. Or they're like, no, I'll pay you $500 if you're going to run a half marathon. So, again, this can be kind of in some of the soft messaging that's like, listen, if you want to do something that feels like more of a challenge for you, then go for it. But this is kind of what we're putting our parameters around.
Do we want to create then, when you have breath work, you have like, this is 6 p.m. ticket, this is 7:30. Do we want them to create like 3 groups, 5K walk, 10K run, half marathon challenge accepted, and then people can actually choose. So then also we give options, but also we limit options so people don't get very confused. And then we can actually.
But at the end of the day, Tanya, it doesn't really matter to us how far people, because it's not like a ticket. It's not like if I run, if I walk the 5, that means that the donation is $100. Like maybe somebody will donate somebody $1,000.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I think for this year, keeping it super simple. Half a second, Joyce. Kristen, you had your hand up.
So are we actually having an event at Elk Island though? Like go there?
Okay, I have to be like super clear about this, is that people can do these walks and runs wherever they want to. They can do it on their treadmill in their living room. Okay. Now, if people wanted to get together and to do this, there is a way, and we were thinking of creating social media pages for it. We'll create a Facebook page for it. We'll create an Instagram page for it. And if people decide that they want to meet up and do these things with other people, then they can. And so given that we are in Edmonton, right, most of us are in Edmonton, we thought, okay, for the group who wants to, or one group, maybe there's 100 groups that want to do this in Edmonton, who knows? But we can be one group who's doing this. And then the option, one of the suggestions I should say that came out was to do it at Elk Island. And so I need to get that feedback from Lisa, because she was going to go and talk to them about that. And again, it's going to be one of these things that we would say, here is the course that we can go and we can walk it out and we can run it out, but we won't be able to put like a whole ton of big markers or anything like that. And we can even have you know, a couple of different start times in the day, like if there's going to be a morning group or there's going to be an afternoon group, it's going to be a lot less formal than a typical run that you would sign up for, right? There's no big, huge like event warm-ups and loudspeakers and kind of all of that stuff. But like where Luisha is in Medicine Hat, they have like the biggest teepee in the country that's there, which would be beautiful. So the idea though would be for people to constantly share through the social media channels, right? With hashtags and everything else. It's like, you know, here, you know, my mom and my sister and I are walking and we're like in buttfuck nowhere, Saskatchewan. Right here we are. And then, you know, Tanya's friends here, we're walking in the Ukraine right now. And then maybe in Edmonton, there's 100 people or there's a couple hundred people that are doing it together out there. Right? Okay. What did you say, Leanne? Elk Island or Blackfoot Wilderness Center near Elk Island might be easier to gather in because it's not a national park. Yeah. Did you
And
say?
I think that Lisa was looking at that Blackfoot was
Okay.
the one. Yeah, and that was my question was like, to me, if you're doing a gathering point, you should have specific times because my thing was like if we do bandanas and tattoos and stuff, like wouldn't you give those out then?
No,
Or we're gonna mail them?
we're going to mail everything. That's part of their registration fee.
Okay, I just wanted to
Right, so that
clarify that,
everybody
but I
knows
think
it.
that for me, I think there should be times, set times, because then you still want to be out there
Agreed.
to, you know, encourage everyone. And I
For
think it's
sure.
more fun when everybody goes together.
Yeah. And I think that, again, what we're going to have to encourage is people in certain areas like Shannon, if you're the one who's saying, like putting your hand up and you're like, I'm doing this in Lake Country in BC, is that you get to decide the time. And as the captain, then you're deciding, hopefully also you're going to plan out what the 5K and the 10K route is. And we'll have that on Strava, and Tanya will share a little bit more information with us with that too, or you can input that into Strava yourself. But this is, it's like, how can we again make this as accessible to people as possible without this having to be some great big over organized thing? Because sometimes if it's over organized, that decreases the accessibility. It's like, shit, well, now we need to be there and we need to set up this registration table and we need to get all of these permits and everything else like that. There's running groups and walking groups that meet all over the place every single day of the year without needing any of those things. And so I'm just, especially for a first year, I'm trying to just kind of pull back some of the pressure on organizing that. And I think also my other concern with doing something really big in Edmonton and having a much more visible presence with that is that people who aren't in Edmonton are going to feel a little bit ripped off because they're not a part of that. And it's like, instead, this is very community based. And if you want to put your hand up and just start to get people talking to each other and building that community, and put yourself out there on Facebook and be like, hey, you know, my name's Leanne and this is where I'm living right now. And I'm, you know, putting my stake in the ground to say anybody who wants to come and walk this 5K with me on that day at this time, is that we'll be gathering at this time and we'll be walking together at this time. People will have to take initiative.
When are we going to announce this?
June 15th.
That's when we're announcing that we're doing it?
Yeah.
So I have to
we'll
keep,
announce and open the registration on the same day.
so I have to stay quiet until then?
Well, no, you can tell people if you want.
And do I need to like get some volunteers to help me with some stuff or what? Like, cause I'm the only one in Ponoka, unless anybody else wants to come to tropical Ponoka.
Be tempting.
I mean, I can find volunteers. Ponoka Stampede runs on completely all volunteers. This town has lots of volunteers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Whoever you want to come and help. Yes, Tanya, I have seen where the majority of the practice members are. And I would say like 80% of them live in Alberta.
But maybe even 20% that are not in Alberta, he takes one volunteer who was like, okay, like
I
good
agree.
vibe, like let's do this. And even if that person gonna be just one person walking, we still will have it and the energy will be there, or that one person will invite family, friends, kids, and I don't know who else, the dogs and horses, and let's go, right? So there's gonna be another venue, not to put too much attention and energy, but if you see geographically and we can message them Facebook saying, hey, like, do you want to be not in charge because people get scared, but like, do you want to be, I don't know, superstar of this round in this location? Maybe
I-
someone will be like drawn to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And the interesting piece, and I've mentioned this before about this new facility, which is they're calling it the Lighthouse Treatment Center or something like that, is that it is the only one in the whole world. So this is a worldwide thing. And if we can encourage as many people as we know, I know that I have my girlfriend and her husband or her partner are going to do it in Bali, which is really exciting. And again, like the vision that I have in my head is that we're all walking for the same cause. Again, like from our first meeting, we all have our own reasons for walking, and those are the things that we'll share as we keep marketing this. But Megan will send pictures of them walking through a rice paddy, right? And then we'll have pictures of people in who knows where, like walking where they're walking. And that is really, at the end of the day, to me, I think that is what this whole thing is about, is people, like, you're not alone, and we are all over the world helping, supporting, and sharing this one vision. And so if we try to like make just a couple of big locations at big events, I think that it starts to exclude a lot of people everywhere. So how do we almost break these down into all of these little mini pods? Yeah, Shannon.
Sorry.
So
Okay, so in the past, I'm not much of a walker or runner, but I'm going to be for this. But I donate directly to the cause for that day because I still want to be able to donate. I just can't get sponsors because I'm not going to run. So is there an option for that? Like if someone, say I'm saying, hey, here's what I'm doing next week or next month, whatever, join us or scan here to direct donate or something like that?
yes, 1,000%. And I think especially over the course of that day, which is why we will all be super, super active on social media, because when people can start to see all of these pictures and these little videos and everything pouring in, it's like, how do I direct donate to this right now? Because it's raising awareness just as much as it's raising funds, right? So yeah, thank you. I totally agree. Luisha, do you have your hand up? Or you're just giving a high five?
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
Yeah,
We do have a provincial-wide trail here in Alberta, a Canada-wide trail. So we could, kind of use that as our gathering points. No matter where we are in Canada, we're all on that same trail. Because the Blackfoot provincial is probably just in Elk Island Park, I'm assuming. So
I don't know. We'll figure this out. Thank you.
But
though.
yeah, it's a country Canada-wide trail that goes through Medicine Hat, goes through everywhere. So, and I'm going to try to get Tofino involved too. I know they have a little Warriors program out there. It's a little different, but once we have those QR codes and handout flyers, we can just blitz wherever we are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
thanks.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So October 1st, one day, 5K walk, 10K run. People are open to do, if they want to do more, they can do more, but that's just what we are going to promote. Tanya, is there anything else? Like, does anybody not know what Strava is? We brought it up briefly, but maybe. So not Louisa, not Shannon. Maybe not Jackie, not really Kathy. Okay, can you give us a quick overview of Strava and why we chose this to support our run?
So if you allow me to share, I can even show it because it's nice. I have it open here.
Second here, I just have to make you.
So Strava, that's an app there are lots of, thank you. There are lots of, come on, let's share. So do you see my screen now?
Yeah.
So this is Strava. What I like about it is that if you make a loop or something, it actually like shows you where you are. There are a couple of things that we can do here. We can create a challenge. But it's expensive. It starts at $20,000.
Oh, we're not doing that.
Yes.
Sure.
So then we can create a club. It's free. And to do that, we will have to create one account because it's only 30 days is free. And then we will have to create an account. There is like, I think it's $19 a month or $100 a year. And we create it and then we add people to that. And so nobody else, we will only pay for one. And the rest we will add them. And then once I have the account, I can go in and play with it, but then we can add locations, we can add members, it's kind of like small Facebook. You can also like if someone did the run or something, you can like it, or you can comment on it, you can tag people along. And then also if we will choose to do this, so then we can do is we can, give people access before we start so people can try, because there will be lots of people who never tried this Strava. So it's throughout our social media, maybe a month before, okay, let's join Strava now, follow this account, because there should be main account that people will join and they can actually try. I was introduced to this app at my work and I really liked it, and I enroll all my full family. I just love to make to make loops. Oh, I didn't close the loop. Let's walk 2 more meters, So it's that's that. To create a club is free. To follow any friends is free.
Okay, perfect. So maybe then you can just really kind of rack your brain and get creative. So if people say on Facebook, sign up and they say, hey, I'm in Lake Country, like Shannon, and I'm going to create a 5K and a 10K loop. Can Shannon then go into Strava and put the loop into Strava? Or she'd have to go and walk it first?
You will have to go and walk it first so that you will create a map.
Okay. And then that would become the Lake Country loop. And we could have loops we don't just have to do one in Edmonton. There could be different ones and people can just go in and they can pick and choose. So for those of you that weren't at the last meeting, the reason why we chose to do this is because, there's no walking and running police, right? But we're how do we keep track of, or how do we let other people keep track of the fact that they've actually done the walk or done the run? And if I guess somebody needs to prove it, they're I gave you money and I need you to prove that you actually did this. I just think that it will be helpful for people to.
So for us to prove it, for each person, they will have this. So if that's just the shoe that you were walking, this is you were running, this is how many, so it tracks kilometers and also the time. And
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
it's cool. And it's graphics, so we will be able to share it to social media and to use for the next year.
I love it. I love it. How does that feel, you guys? Good. Okay. And just so you know, when I create the whole web page, all of this information will be on there and we'll have links. It's okay, download Strava now, right? So all that people need is a cell phone. If they have a smartwatch as well, it will go to that. But most people are walking or running with a phone in their pocket anyway, right? Okay. Who else had some homework that they want to share? Joyce.
So I looked into the bandanas and some tattoos.
Okay.
The prices are kind of all over the place. So we had talked about the orange bandanas. And with those, I was just, because we had chose the color orange, I was a little bit concerned because, again, Truth and Reconciliation, a lot of people are buying orange things for their events in their towns and whatnot. So I thought that would be something that would have to decide whether we're going to do that. So there's a company in Edmonton, it's called Go Logo Wear. And they had them, the bandanas, they're expensive, like just to buy them. The cheapest I found and that was for Imprint, which is out of Ontario. So then you have a big shipping cost for that. They're $2.99 each, and that's not including what you want to print on them.
Okay.
And so I thought that was a little expensive. And then I looked at all kinds of different tattoo places, and again, it all comes down to how many you want to order. And really the break even point is $1,000 or $1,000, 1,000 tattoos. And there's still, and then you have to decide what size. If like a 1.5 by 2.5 is about $377 for the tattoo, and or a 2 by 2 is a little bit cheaper, $347. And there's all different kinds of companies. The Temporary Tattoos, they're a Canadian company, and those were the prices and they're good. Like you can get them in 10 to 12 days. So I had looked on social media trying to find that picture of Cody with his tattoo. I could not find it. So if you could send
Jackie
me,
has them.
yeah,
Yeah.
because what I want to do is I talked to my friend at work, her daughter, that's like incredible. She's been started her own business, making all kinds of t-shirts and stuff. And she's got all these programs on her computer. She can like fix that for me and make a good logo for us.
Okay.
But I need that. So that's
Jackie.
kind of where I am. And like I say, I have all kinds of different names of companies. And then, or like, do you want his warhorse and the words like my greatest strength is my inner peace? Or do you want ones that maybe you just have a tattoo that says that, or then the warhorse? And like, so you have to decide, because as a tattoo, they're really not that big. And then what color do you want them?
Yeah.
Like, do you want just a black? To me, I think it should be just a black tattoo.
Yeah. Okay. Jackie says she has the JPEGs for these.
Okay, thank you.
So Jackie, you and I can look at those and then we can get those to Joyce. So again, for a couple of you who weren't in that last conversation, is versus trying to get like t-shirts and things and like trying to get sizes for people. And that's just a bit of a nightmare. We just thought of going with bandanas, and then they can wear the bandana wherever they want to wear it, but just as a bit of an identifier when they're running. And then again, I think it's going to look cool in the pictures that everybody has like some kind of like this piece. We did think with going with orange, just obviously from the Indigenous perspective on all of that. They're super easy to mail. Yeah. And so Jack, the little envelopes that we have down here, I think we just do standard mail with those, right? Which is really inexpensive. And we can throw, we'll just throw the bandana in there. If we decide to, I think we should, let's try to get some of these tattoos if we can try to go with that. We can throw that in and then just even print off postcards with like a thank you for registering and a little message from all of us on there, and maybe even another QR code for donation that they can give to other people just to keep it kind of in their pocket. The only thing now that we're going to have to really think about, because of course we have to order these things ahead of time. And I know Tanya has a resource as well. I think they're in China, aren't they, Tanya? Yeah. And so if it's sent by sea, it's like 45 to 60 days or 10 to 14 days by air, which might be worth it, but who knows? I think that's where we can kind of figure a bunch of this stuff out if we get everything going in June. And hopefully we have some numbers to get a general idea. We can order the stuff, maybe not right off the hop, but maybe towards, I don't know, middle of August or something like that, if we get it sent by air. No, that wouldn't make any sense. Beginning of August, what we would want to start sending these things out by the beginning of September through that whole month, right?
If you have a logo and we're set on the sides, I can get the budget. So we the pricing. So we at least know the budget, because the pricing on sea and air will be different. So I would
Yes,
order whatever we think we will collect, how many people registered by sea, as soon as we figure the things out, because they come and they hear. And then if we see that we went above number that we wanted, we can order more and get it by air.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea either. Okay. Okay, well, I don't even know what to guess in terms of how many people are gonna do this or sign up. Like, does anybody have any ideas? Like, I honestly have no clue. Joyce, what do you think?
Well, I just thought that if like the bandanas, if say you like it made sense to get 500, but you only had 250 people, so that you, if you had to, I hate to have extra things, but you know, are you going to use the same ones the next year? Because you're going to still have the same logo. And although like those little things, I know it's not good to have too many, but there's always that kind of break point where you have to order this much to really make it worthwhile and a good enough deal.
Always.
So, you know, I guess you have to be really concise if this is what, for this walk that we're going to do for the next, we'll say 5 years,
Yeah.
this is the logo, we are going with this color. And then you can give those like, because you're not going to put like 2023 on them or.
Right, of course, that makes sense. That
Like,
makes
so
sense.
I guess you have to kind of think about those things. Same as like the tattoos. Okay, well, you know what? It's cheaper if we get 3,000 of them. They fit in a little box. I've had a box of 5,000 that I've been giving out for about 5 years to the kids.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that. And yeah, not that hard to store bandanas if we need. Shannon.
Very dumb question.
Yeah,
Can you sponsor yourself?
not a dumb question. The answer is yes.
Get the ball rolling, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
so here's the thing. So yes, of course you can. 1,000%. We are charging a registration fee for everybody. And I think we had kind of settled on like a $75 registration fee. Is that what we were thinking? Just, I think that this will then at least more than cover the costs for us, for bandanas, for tattoos, for, there's just going to be some things that come up. I'll probably have to hire Kyla for 5 hours to 10 hours just to make sure that all of the links are tied together. Like there's just some costs that come up with that. And then, you know, create just hopefully a small little buffer within that if we have to order extra product, if there's extra left over. And then at the very end, if we do have some, we'll just donate that to Little Warrior so we don't have anything kind of sitting.
So
Yeah.
the $75, like, to me, like if you're like, so Amy Mulvey, she said that she and her little guy, they're doing a bunch of races this year. To me,
Yeah.
$75 is a lot for a kid. It's fine for a
Oh.
adult.
Yeah.
So would we have like a child registration if, like, as I know that Amy's little guy would like hit up everybody for donations, and for like, to me, that's a lot of money for
Yeah.
a 6-year-old kid.
But okay, yes, I totally agree. I was almost gonna go to like kids under 14, like don't pay, because the chances are they're gonna be running it with somebody who's an adult anyway. Right? And if they're running with a parent, like in order for them to get their bandana and their little tattoo, we need to have them as registrants on the form. But how do you feel about that? I almost feel like an under 14 doesn't pay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, and then that way the extra 75 will also help us with some of the other costs too. Okay. Yes, and social media advertising. Jackie's absolutely right. I knew that there was something in social media. And then that way we will be buying and boosting posts for sure so that people can see it. Right? Okay, we are like almost right at time. Was there anybody else that had a task right now? No? Okay. So Pam's gonna kind of compile a bunch of these notes. Yes, thank you, Joyce. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna keep the conversation going on Facebook right now. And we just need to delegate a little bit and see what's going on. Jackie and I'll spend a little bit of time tomorrow. Maybe we'll Zoom you in, Pam, on that too, just to kind of help us take a few notes on that. And we'll actually put all of the tasks down and see kind of who wants to pick up what going forward, or just keep carrying on with their piece with that. And we'll have a timeline put together as well in terms of when we need to have certain things done and different decisions so that we can, June 15th is going to come fast. Right. So you can start sharing this with as many people as you want to share it with. We're not going to announce it on social media yet, just because we don't have anywhere to send anybody to be able to sign up quite yet. Sound good? Okay, thank you. Thanks,
Our
guys.
next meeting,
When is our next meeting, Pat? Do we have a next meeting planned, Pam?
We do, May 9th.
May 9th.
yeah, cute.
Thank you. Can I also just laugh? Like, I always do this on social media. Like I would never, or in Zoom, I would never do that in person. 2 hands. Bye. Bye. Okay. Awesome.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you,
I just
Mandy.
freaking did it again. Okay, bye, you guys. We'll talk soon.
Bye.